It's loading, sis.
Grateful for the thing that we call life. Hey, welcome and abundance and good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. Yeah. The
Rose tea.
rosy,
Having trouble
the
connecting.
shadow. As a rosary card. Cause I higher vibration.
Oh, we on. We're live.
Greetings! We vibing out.
Greetings.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I am your host, Chantel Sierra Kim, and I am here with my lovely sister, Lady Unk. This is our Circle of Sister podcast where we come through to speak out and shift
And fix crowns in the
crowds
process.
in the process. As I'm
Y'all, we in this thing today. Thank you so much for joining us.
yes.
It's been a minute, but we are here in divine time as always. We are here to talk about activating your higher self. And some things that you can do in order to activate that higher self, your God self, your true self, your divine self, okay? Living an authentic life. Today, no matter where you are joining us from, any of our platforms, if you want to type in the chat, hello, hi, let us know that you're here. We love to shout you out. Just want to see where everyone is joining us from today.
Ashe. So today's episode, we're talking about vibrating higher or tapping into our highest self, our highest frequency. Really understanding that that is available to us for our healing process, for our overcoming our lower vibrational selves, for us integrating with that part of ourselves and seeing it all as purposeful. This activation retreat that we have coming up is being set up so that we can really dive into all aspects of the wholeness of who we are and really begin to see how we can become the light in the darkness, because it's all necessary, it's all needed, and the activation starts when you realize that you have a choice. So that's where we are today, just really reminiscing on what it looks like to live your highest vibration, what it looks like to really find yourself in the midst of a storm, but still begin to see the rainbow, even while you're going through it. What would you add to that, sis?
Absolutely. A lot of times when you hear the term vibrate higher, or someone says, you that's a low vibration. Sometimes that can be thought of as a negative, whether it's a high vibration or low vibration. Low vibrations are necessary. They are necessary. It's the duality, so we know there's going to be that opposition. So it's necessary. However, when you stay in a low vibration, you're limited with your thinking, you're limited with your ability, and really low vibration is lack of accountability. You are literally giving up the control to someone or something else when you are in low vibrational states. So, because of that, it is really hard to navigate yourself towards your dreams. Not saying that you can't from a low vibrational state. We've seen people do that. But how much of yourself, how much of your integrity, how much of your moral compass, how much of your light do you have to dim in order to accomplish your goals in your lower self? Well, when we talk about our higher vibration, or the higher vibrating energy, we are able to accomplish so much more and so faster in quantum leaps when we lean more into our higher self and our higher energy. Because the higher energy, the higher frequency is only looking for that which feels good,
Mm-hmm.
that which is that which is in harmony with your soul mission and your soul purpose. And so it leads you in a more defined uh, direction. It helps you to navigate life's hurdles with grace, ease, and
And with
grace.
and with the optimism, it's very easy to get into seeing ourselves as, the victim. It's very easy to do that, right? And in that victimized state, we really begin to become stuck. We begin to find ourselves in that woe is me kind of vibration. And in that space, it doesn't produce fruit, or it just continues to produce more and more of that similar fruit. So, I mean, some people thrive in that low vibrational energy, and that is where they find their place of safety. So, if you're finding yourself there and you don't want to be there, this message is for you. But if that's your norm and you're really processing some things and you really want to really set in that energy, it's purposeful as well, because that energy is what it needs and what your body needs and what your higher self needs to begin to see that there's an opposite, an equal and opposite to that. And you, in your vibration, in your processing of the information, can regulate your own experience through that, because it's necessary, as you said, to feel the extremes, and then also to connect with it in such a way that you can offer love in that space, because love really is the thing that helps us to heal. It helps us to grow. It helps us to see those parts of ourselves that may not be so beautiful and still know that it is a purpose behind it. One of my mentors, Dr. Faya, she used to say that when we find ourselves in the lower vibrational frequencies, or when we find ourselves in a place of being triggered, or in a place of feeling like we are the victim, it's only our misalignment with the truth. And I have really applied that in a lot of ways to a lot of my lower vibrational experiences, because it's my misalignment with the truth. We create these stories behind what is going on and why we're experiencing this, but we can move beyond it by taking our responsibility in it, right? Taking back our power in it and activating something other, because most people don't like being in a low vibrational energy. It sucks the life out of you. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like you are even a part of the world anymore. And then we have those mental disconnects that begin to take place there, which really can spiral us into, the depression and the anxiety and the other mental diseases, because we haven't been able to process in aligning with our highest vibration. So, not to say that you're always needing to be in the highest vibration at all, but to know that there is this ebb and flow that takes place, and how having tools to begin to navigate it so you don't spiral all the way to the depths of hell, and that you can move closer to that heavenly state. And even in that
Absolutely.
space, you're balancing both. You're balancing who you are as an individual and how it feels to you in that space. And hopefully you are leaning toward feeling the more higher vibrations as opposed to the lower, as your norm, as your norm.
Absolutely. You touched on a part of this that really hits close to home when you talk about the lower vibrational energies and the dis-ease that come with those, such as depression, anxiety, stress. These are things that we battle with on a day-to-day basis. The community at large is battling with it. We've had a lot of post traumatic stressors in the last 5 years with the pandemic, the wildfires, this extreme weather we've been having. And so Post traumatic stress is almost living in us at this point. We are living in survival mode, and living in survival mode is a low vibrational energy. It keeps you stuck and stagnant and really operating out of fear. When you step into your high vibrational energy, you are not operating out of fear anymore. You're no longer operating out of shame, out of anger. You're operating with your intuition, you're operating with your heart, you're operating in the frequencies of creation energy. And so
Mhm.
this is what we have to understand about the high and low vibrations, is that when we step into our higher vibrational energy, we're operating with life energy, the life force energy that will help us to elevate and create. When we are
Yeah.
operating in our lower frequencies, we are really operating with a death energy, an energy that is not able to really be sustained, because if you get too low, then you fall, you fall flat, right? You flatline. If
And in
the
that space though, that's a good connection, right? The
Mhm.
life and the death based on the high frequency and the low frequency. But even in the death, we don't want to scare anybody to say
Right.
that, oh, you're operating in the death vibration. But that death vibration allows you to transform. It
Ashe.
allows you to finally get to the lowest of low to say, do I really want to be here? And
How
your
they say,
body and
hit
your
rock
mind,
bottom.
yeah, will say no more. So
Hmm.
at that place, you can die to that frequency and begin to rise. You know, I wrote about something like that in my journal today, just talking about the death and rebirth cycle and how we are constantly going through this. And it takes those lower vibrational experiences to bring us back to ourselves or to connect with another part of ourselves that we may not have been able to find, because it, or we may end up losing our mind in the process, I don't know, because it's all an option depending on how you navigate it and the tools that you have to help you navigate. I think as a collective, we all want to function in a balanced, safe, um, supported frequency.
Invite. Ashe.
Yeah. And so when we find ourselves out of that alignment, that's when we begin to feel these shifts in our mind, in our body, in our heart that keep us from moving, right? So we have to learn about how we can move that energy so that we can move toward what we truly desire. I know myself, I struggle and I'm challenged by, I don't struggle anymore. I'm going to snatch that. I'm challenged by the energy of grief and how it comes in and it's so real, you know, losing loved ones or losing a job or losing relationships. That is an energy of grief, but it is from a less than vibration. So when it comes in, it's bringing to your remembrance things like, I'm lacking something. I no longer have something. I don't, I can't, I'm not worthy of something. That's why it left me. So being able to navigate that energy by countering it with what we do still have or what we do desire is a tool. And it takes work because when you're in the emotion of it, you're in it. But we have to kind of realign our heart and our mind so that we can move through it and not get stuck. And that's really what the activation is all about. It's activating a new option, activating a new idea, activating a new feeling to counter, not to say that feeling you're feeling is invalid or shouldn't be recognized or set with, but that it's coming forth so that you can recognize it for what it is. And then you can move forward into something that feels a little better. And, it's nothing wrong with feeling the feels till you can't feel them no more, you know?
Okay.
And you got to go into it. You got to go into it. You got to see what's there. And you have to begin to just find the joy and find the purpose behind the pain. And That's what our activation retreat is going to be all about. Finding the purpose beyond the pain and activating new ways of navigating the life experience as a whole.
Absolutely. So when we talk about our retreat that we have coming up, March 28th through 30th in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, this retreat is about activating your highest vibration and also learning how to maintain your vibration. A lot of times what happen is we can get to those high vibrational frequencies, but we don't know how to maintain it. Or we've been living in survival mode so much of our life, we have yet to reach that point where we can really activate our true and authentic self, our higher self. I often look around me and I see so many people with so many great gifts, so many great talents, but they are living in fear. They're living in survival mode, so they can't even approach doing those things that they've been called to do. Many times it's because you haven't had the affirmation. You haven't had the love. You haven't had the push to do something out of the box, to be able to live a life that you haven't seen maybe in your family, maybe where you come from. And so, with our activation retreat, we are really challenging you to step outside of your comfort zone. We will be in the middle of nature in a beautiful mansion in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, surrounded by the elements so that we can immerse ourselves in our own energy. Because many of us live in metropolitan cities across the globe, we're in the hustle and bustle of everyday life and everyday culture. A lot of times the things that we're feeling aren't necessarily our energy, but we can't
Mhm.
differentiate between our vibration and the vibration of others that are around us. And so this is why within this retreat we take you to an area where we can all be able to sit and study ourselves, right? Look
Mhm.
inward. If you go within, you never go without. That's one of Chantel's favorite quotes. I love when she says it because we have to go within and understand ourselves on a different level. We have to allow ourselves to to express our soul mission authentically and untainted. And sometimes, in order to do that, we have to separate. I am a strong advocate for retreats and travel because I believe that you unlock a different part of yourself when you are outside of your normal comfort zone. It
Right.
unlocks a layer of you that it's really profound. And I found that no matter where I've gone, whether I've flown and traveled domestically, whether I've traveled internationally, whenever I step foot in a different area outside of my home base, I am able to connect with myself on a different level. I'm able to unlock a piece of me that I didn't even know was there because I've stepped into another time, place, space, dimension. Um,
That's
and
good
so,
stuff. That's good stuff. And I mean, I just coming back from Mexico, I experienced that. Sometimes we have to get away because America is so hustle and bustle, seeing other countries and seeing other ways that people are living around the world really does change your perspective. And then when you think about the energy of other people, as you mentioned, we as human beings are all interconnected in some way. And when we begin to move about in different environments, we pick up on the energy there. It's like what they say, you become the closest, what is it, the five people you're the closest to, you'll become just like them. Or the mindset that they have, you become like that. Unless you're a powerful person that is attracting people and you're very solid in what you believe, you're going to attract people who will want to feed off that or exchange and reciprocate that. So it's very, very important to know what your energy is, know what your purpose is, know what you are being called to do, and being able to do that by harnessing your own inner energy and being able to block out the energy that no longer serves, but also navigate the emotions and the feelings that are here to bring you new awarenesses. I mean, I've come into a lot of new awarenesses in the last few weeks, I tell you. I mean, the way that I've learned to navigate life experiences has been tested beyond measure. And I've just been in a space of seeing the good in it. You know, ultimately, everything has a message, everything has a blessing. Even my grief, even my sorrow, even my feelings of loss and lack and limitation, it all is there. And I see it for what it is, right? But I also know that there is a polarity to that, that also is available. So in that space, I get to choose. So I'm really being challenged to make better choices, to make
As
those
we all
choices
are.
that move me in the direction that I'm able to use my gifts, my talents, my abilities. I'm able to pour into and radiate that love energy to hopefully be a light in the darkness for others. So
Absolutely.
that's
And
where I'm at. And this is what my work is this is what our work is all about. And I'm
I
so
say,
thankful for you, sis.
well, while we have these wonderful people on the line, if you guys have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Even if you just want to say hello, I love to shout out. I see we got 7 people watching, so I love to shout you out and see where you are watching from. So if you wouldn't mind typing a little comment in the chat, we love to shout you out. In addition to that, just picking up from where you left off. So with this retreat, it's a 3-day retreat. It's an intensive retreat. Um, Maisha said she just got on.
Hey,
It's a three.
sis.
It's a 3-day intense retreat. This retreat combines a few different metaphysical um, aspects. So we will do some sound healing. Okay, there will be a lot of sound healing, drum circles, fireside chats, and we'll also be exploring plant medicine. As we're talking about raising your vibration, I do want to touch very briefly on the use of sacred plant medicine as you are exploring the depths of your inner selves. So, with this retreat, we do have several plant medicine options available. Hape being one of the traditional indigenous medicines. So, Hape is a I guess it's considered like a ground ash of Amazonian medicines, including tobacco, primarily tobacco, which is blown with a tool called a TP or crepe, blown through the nostrils. What that does is it helps to really center you, decalcify the pineal gland, to just bring more clarity and awareness to your mind space. That's what I like to consider it. We'd also have magic mushrooms. We have a variety of those. What I like to say, and you could, sister, you could elaborate, but with the mushrooms, what they actually do is you have what is called your ego and your shadow side, right? I like to say that the mushrooms suppresses the ego so that your spirit can shine through this. The ego usually keeps you from being authentic, from expressing yourself authentically, right? So
Mhm.
you might want to go run outside and dance in the rain, but your ego will prevent you from doing that. When you experience the plant medicine, it's like, forget that ego. I'm running outside and dancing in the rain. And so it allows your inner child to express itself. It does, in some cases, it can bubble up traumatic experiences that you need to process. All
Suppressed
of this
emotions, suppressed emotions.
suppressed emotions, exactly, that you may need to process. All of this will help to remove the stagnation. When we talk about removing that lower vibrational energy, These plants assist us in letting go of the lower vibrational energy. Um, and those are just to name a few of the plants that we will be working with. That is totally optional. It's not a requirement for the retreat. There will be a lot of other things to do within the retreat. We do offer teas as well.
And
And
cacao. Cacao
teas,
is the wonderful mother of the heart. It's a
Ashe.
love energy. It's a very beautiful plant medicine that a lot of people are not familiar with. But in that space, a lot of people love them some chocolate. Okay.
Hmm.
So cacao is a derivative of chocolate in its natural form, and it helps to open up the heart. A lot of indigenous traditions utilize cacao in ceremonies of meetings of the mind, right? Because it puts you in a space of oneness, it puts you in a space of love, it puts you in a space of being open to receive or being open to understand another person's perspective. So, cacao is a beautiful, beautiful medicine to work with when you are trying to navigate your heart space and really come into oneness with it. I practice and utilize um, cacao a lot in my everyday practice just because it helps me to ground into myself. It helps me to be more clear about what it is my heart desires, because sometimes we get in our mind so much that we forget what our heart is saying, because the world is telling us to think logically. The world is telling us we have to do it this way. The world is showing us a lot of things to be afraid of if we don't do it the way the world is showing us. So being able to be in your heart space helps you to really, really be more connected to the feelings of what feels good, what feels safe, what feels like home. So cacao is a medicine that won't take you into the depths of your inner self so much, into the traumas or into the low vibrational suppressed emotions, but it does in fact bring up that love energy of seeing everything in a space of oneness. So that will be there as well. We'll also utilize a lot of vibrational frequencies to navigate moving energy, moving us from a stuck state of mind into a free flowing state of mind. We'll also utilize just workshops. We'll talk about what it is to do this work of maintaining your highest vibration. We'll also talk about how time is an illusion, and we often get stuck and stagnated in the space of there's not enough time in a day. There's It'll happen one day, or I have to wait until I'm ready for this. But understanding that now is all there is, and that when you begin to see things from the perspective of, I want it now, I can have it now, there's no limit in time and space, but it is in vibration and frequency. And that we can jump into the frequency of that which we desire by just changing our mind. Powerful stuff. So, so powerful. And a lot more. We have a couple of our Sacred Women sisters who will be there and helping to help us navigate the experience through journaling, through just other workshops, other heartfelt, emotional, connecting to self, tapping into self care being the best care, and knowing that we as individuals play a role in each other's lives. But first, we have to find out what role we play in our own lives. And as we activate our highest self, we'll begin to become more and more aware of what that is. And that's why this work is important. And it's not like sister was saying, you get the energy, you get the vibration, you get the revelation, but then you lose it when you come back into the world, right? So these tools will help you begin to be able to hold the vibration, hold the frequency. And when it comes, when the turbulent waters come, you'll be able to navigate it a lot easier. And that makes your life a little bit easier to navigate as a whole. It helps you to just know that you know, everything is not going to always be rainbows and butterflies. Everything is not always going to be darkness and despair. But being able to pick which side you want to default to is your choice. And in that process, sometimes you have to sit in that darkness. Sometimes you have to really, really feel the feels of what it feels like to be in sorrow, to be in despair, to be in grief, to be in agony, to be in pain, to be in all those things that cause death, really, and disease, because that is the place that you really kind of your body is forced to make a change and
Ashe.
you get to choose. So,
Ashe. And so, for those of you who find yourself in that space, I want to show you all a wonderful tool that is available to each and every one of us as we navigate this here life, this journey that we're on. This is the Good Vibes Lounge. Hold on, I'm trying to go to the actual page of the song. Hold up.
more events in the top, I think.
Wait a minute. I can't see where it's. Oh, here we go. I had to go to the page. Sorry. Okay, so this is the Good Vibes Lounge website for those of you who are with us today. This is a wonderland of access to high vibrational material, workshops, and also if you're looking for a resource, someone to guide you, this is a great place to come. This is Good Vibes Lounge, okay? This is a virtual lounge space. So now we are going to show you how you can access the information for the trip. It's under more. Our Circle of Sister Table Talks are right here. So if you want to find archived versions of some of our table talks that we've had, you can click here for that. Self-care tools are on here as well. These are the tools that can help you navigate your experience. It's loading, sorry. So these are some herbal remedies and things that are available as well. But I wanted to go to here. Oh, I should have went to event.
It's at the bottom. I see it. Keep going.
I know, but it's pulling up programs now.
Oh,
Look, my computer running real slow these days. Let's go to events. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. Here we go. So here is our upcoming event.
whoop, whoop.
This is the High Vibes Divine Alignment Activation Retreat. Okay, this retreat is a total let's click more info so we can go over the info that's here. Join us for an experience of self discovery and empowerment. This retreat is designed to help you unlock your inner divine power and embrace your authentic, true essence. Dive into a transformative journey of self discovery and liberation where you can create to expand, create and grow. Ashe.
Ashe.
All right.
You want to show that video?
Is it
I
on
think
here?
it's there. Yeah, when you go to the blue box.
Okay, let me go to the blue box. Let's go to the blue box.
Or maybe not.
It should be. There we go. Is this no, this is not the video.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
here we go. So here's some of the pictures from our previous retreat. The previous retreat we had about 22 women. This we were at the what is this? The Gettysburg Mansion. Beautiful, beautiful mansion, 3-story mansion, 24 bedrooms, beautiful. The price of this is $555, and you can feel free to make payments. We do have payment options available. I don't see the video.
it's right there at the picture of the
Oh,
cabin.
this one.
The cabin picture. Boom.
Oh shoot. Duh, I didn't even see that.
Give thanks.
Infinite rise, grateful for the blessing we call life. I welcome in abundance and good vibes, good vibes, yeah. I meditate while sipping my rose tea. I activate, aligning my chakras. Moving my soul as I levitate. Loving myself as I elevate high. Taking a trip on my soul train. Cause I'm on a high vibration. I'm on a high vibration. I'm on a high vibration. I'm on.
All right, all right, all right. So
Yes,
that was the event space that we utilized last year or 2 years ago.
yes,
Last year, 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
for the activation retreat, and we had a blast. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful things that can take place when like-minded men and women come together. And this event is open to both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We are calling y'all out to come up, show out, and really connect with like minded people because it takes all of us. It takes all of us holding the frequency of the highest vibration to see our world, in fact, change. You know, it's kind of like each one teach one, or you be the change you wish to see. And it all begins with me. It all begins with me. And right now, our collective needs so much support in this space, so much support of love, so much of support of understanding, so much of hope, you know, because it can become a hopeless world. It can become a very challenging world. People are dealing with disease and discomfort in so many different ways. And it's time that we begin to shift that by countering it with our highest level, our highest expression, and our highest energy of love as being the creators of our reality. You know, this is where we tap into the God presence, that Christ consciousness, and knowing that God can help us, but we must first help ourselves.
Absolutely, sis. Thank you so much for that. And I wanted to really challenge you if this is something that you're interested in, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I can take the time off work. I don't know if I can work the finances into my budget. Let me just say this. In the climate that we're in today's society, we all need the time to decompress, to process what we've been through in the last 5 to 10 years. There has been so many things that have happened in just the last 5 years alone that many of us need the time to self reflect. You may have found yourself traveling for whatever reason, but you didn't feel like you rested or you didn't get time to just sit with yourself. This is your opportunity for that. Self care really starts with understanding that there is something that you need that
Mhm.
cannot wait. And
Ashe.
so there are some of you that know that you need this retreat. Like, I need this. I need something like this in my life. And man, I don't know how I'm going to come up with it. I'm telling you, if you desire to come, if you desire to be in the space, you have all the power to make that come true. You have to step out on faith. And this is one of those things where when we had the last group, we had a large group of women, some of which had never really experienced anything like this. They hadn't been in a sister circle. They hadn't experienced working with plant medicine. They hadn't experienced working with crystals or sound therapy or aromatherapy, none of the therapies. But when they left, it became integral part of their lives.
Ashe.
It has shifted their lives in such a way, in such a small amount of time, that to this day, I still talk to a couple of, we still exchange it. They're still getting things because it has shifted their perspective. And what we don't understand about the world that we live in is our perception creates our reality.
Say it again for the people in the back, sis.
Our perception creates our reality. And so this retreat is about changing your perception so that you can change your reality. And there's no other way to do it than to go within. And so we invite you all to join us because we understand the climate that we live in. We understand that there are many who have been affected by the wildfires and different devastations that have been happening. We are extending a slight extension of the payment options. So if you are interested and you don't have everything today, look, tax season right around the corner, y'all. Let me look. This will come to a come to Kamisha moment. Look, Sherry Huxton left. Sherry Huxton left the building. Tax season around the corner. Now y'all know y'all gonna spend some money on something y'all really don't need. I'm encouraging you to invest in yourself, really, because that's what this is. It's an investment into yourself. You're not just a part of yourself, your whole self.
Mind, body, and soul. Yes, I love that. I love that. Before we leave off for today, I want to shout out a couple of people who came into the call today on this end that I was able to see. I see our beautiful sister, Cassie Ward. I see Nick Anderson. I see Sunkissed Soul. I see Monique Graves, Sharita Anderson, Amethyst Nefertiti. We see you, and we are so thankful that you guys took the time to, you individuals, guys and girls, took the time to listen to us and to hear what we are talking about. Really, it's all about vibrational shifts. You know, whether it is that you can make the retreat or not, be the change that you wish to see. Try and be intentional about when you find yourself in a low vibrational state, shifting that, or even being open to the opposite polarity of it. You know, because when we shift into our higher energies, we really do feel better. We really can see the light in the midst of the darkness. And that's one thing that is very, very, very close to my heart, is to always be the light in the darkness. And that is something that I learned through my Sacred Woman journey. And I've always taken that as a gem, because we do get to be whatever we want to be. We get to do whatever we want to do. And we get to have anything we wish to have with a positive mental attitude, without violating the rights of others, and with aligning to our ultimate highest self and our divine God self. So until next time, we are
the Soul
Sisters, speaking out
and fixing crowns
in the process. Peace and love.
Ashe.
Ashe-o.
Got to